Neil has been spending more time down south than normal.
Okay, look at that.
Isn't that a handy little packet? A heat target for zeroing.
What with his new chiller business and stalking clients looking for deer with tusks rather than red coats, he's starting to enjoy a warmer and drier climate than he's used to on the west coast of Scotland.
Come to England, they said. Dry here, they said. Don't believe a word of it.
We've arranged to meet him at Paul Childerley's place as we have a long overdue chat about his long-term infrared thermal test, plus to discuss if shooting deer with thermal is coming down the track.
The whole thermal story for me has been an interesting one. If we've already agreed, you could say functionally and legally, that we can use them to kill sentient mammals like foxes and feral pigs, then there's no real reason why they shouldn't be used for culling deer. I mean, one sentient mammal is the same as the next. We might have different perception on them. I think too that there's a national interest now in how deer are managed. People are going to be required to shoot more deer. And in my opinion, thermals make an average stalker suddenly extremely efficient. It takes the element of surprise away from it, or skill, or field craft. Because if you can position yourself even from a high seat before darkness, deer and other mammals are going to walk out in front of you and have no idea you're there.
Staying on the right side of the law, Neil's been using the thermal spotter for deer observation and his wildlife and nature tours.
This has become not just an excellent hunting piece of equipment. This has become an excellent wildlife management and conservation tool, because you can interact with species and monitor stuff without being invasive. You know, things are going about their natural processes without us disturbing them, whereas when you go shining lights about the place, yes, you get an idea of what's there because you can see them, but you're also causing disturbance. So you hate to say anything's essential, but if you're managing things like Sika deer or red deer in dense woodland, or you're interested in doing bird counts, and particularly now when you want to show the benefits of moorland management, what a terrific way to count waders. So amazing, amazing.
Of course, foxing is part of that moorland management, and that's what Neil has been doing with the Infrared MAH50 thermal add-on. He hasn't even got the dedicated thermal rifle scope out of the box because of the add-on's ease of use and his confidence in it maintaining zero. And that is what he wants to demonstrate on the range.
An awful lot of guys I know in the north that have had thermal rifle sights find zeroing them well quite challenging. And you'll regularly hear the comment, oh, you can't get it quite as good as you can with a rifle scope. And I found that with the clip-on, there's no significant difference, and I think it's something we're going to demonstrate. In fact, there is no difference. And a lot of guys that I know in the north, like I say, that are keepers and stalkers, that had rifle sights, and we won't name any brands because it's not fair, but they're all pretty much going now, where can we get these, because we'll do this instead.
Right.
You press record?
I don't know how to press record on this. You sort it out.
Oh. Hold on a second, so you've taken that off. So you can do it remotely. So have you used this?
I've used it for other functions, but I've not used it to record.
Alright, put it back on again. That's cool, I'll sort it out.
Yeah. Principle here, just to demonstrate that's the rifle. We're just going to shoot the rifle with a normal scope, as you would when you're testing it any day.
Oh, look at that now.
So there's an inch between them, but that could well be me.
Everyone talks about sort of their breathing. What's your breathing technique when you actually take a shot?
What I try to do, I mean, I spend a little bit of time being taught how to shoot. It doesn't necessarily make me a good shot, but the thing to remember, whatever you're doing is your shooting technique is the thing that you repeat. So what I do is I take 3 deep breaths. On the third breath, a part exhale. As a part exhale, I squeeze the shot.
Okay.
I think what a lot of people do is they try to freeze up and lock for that moment. And there's always a difference in time between reality and your brain and what's going on. So whatever you do as a shooting routine, there's better shots than me out there, but it's worked.
It's almost like a clay shooter. You have your sight picture, but then you have your sort of pre-shot routine.
I think too, when you shoot the rifle on the target and you're testing it, it's quite different to a hunting scenario where very often, particularly if I'm shooting off sticks, I'm keeping both eyes open. Because if you shoot the animal, it darts away off to the side, very often with your eye looking down the side of the scope. You'll see it through the scope with a moderated rifle anyway, but it gives you a better picture of what's going on round about.
The plan now is to clip on the thermal and try it again.
So obviously the challenge here, and we'll demonstrate it again in a moment, is with the ordinary scope, I can see the white disc quite clearly, and you can see the two rounds touching one another on there. Well, not quite touching one another, nearly touching one another, shall we say. And then when we've clipped the thermal on, this whole black background here, this is indistinguishable in it. So we've ended up an inch higher, but what we want to demonstrate now is this could be me looking at it and the difference in where I'm actually placing the crosshair rather than it. So just to prove it isn't, we'll put a pad over here. Yeah, the GoPro is standing out an awful lot more than the pad.
Okay, Mr. Rowantree, so we're there or thereabouts.
Yeah, what can I say? I mean, you can see that's where the rifle is zeroed for when I'm using it for stalking, and what's happened here, and I can use excuses, but the group spacing is probably me is seeing it with the thermal, but you can see that the two impact points are identical.
Okay. We also have different ammo.
We're trying different ammo, we're trying copper ammo, but for the case of the exercise, it demonstrates that the bullet impact points are the same level and that Neil could shoot better.
Neil is not over the moon with the shot placement, but it tells a story, and if his local Highland foxes were still around, they'd be telling the same one. For more information about the InfoRay range, go to inforayuk.co.uk. To check out Neil's chillers, go to gamecooler.co.uk.